sun hasn't shined for me yet, but I know it's a beautiful place, and I know a lot of people love to come down here, and I'm glad you all were able to attend our eBay e-dealer seminar today. My name is Roy Daves. I'm the National Manager for eBay Motors. I have the privilege of going around the country for the last 3 years and training dealers on best practices and how to sell cars on eBay. I also have the privilege of running the sales team, so we go around the country and fill up the rooms, invite you all to come, and then we give you the best practices as well as really walk through a program where we can crawl, walk, and run with eBay. Our goal today is to really share with you how eBay can work for your dealership, how we can bring incremental sales to your dealership, what we can do. The things that you're going to see today, I think, are things that a lot of times that you're already doing, but I know that we're going to bring a lot of fresh ideas. And we also have someone that's going to be coming out to visit your stores, as well as we're going to offer you a nice opportunity at the end of the seminar. We're going to go pretty quickly today. We'll take a break midway through. If you all don't mind, to be courteous of the others around you, if you wouldn't mind cutting off your phones if you can, that would be very kind. The morning's going to go pretty quickly. We're going to go run through a lot of information. We have a workbook there for you, and we're going to get ready to get started. I know we're going to have a couple late people coming in, so hopefully that won't be a distraction, but we're going to get going. First of all, how many people are selling cars on eBay Motors now? Is anybody selling more than 5 cars a month on eBay? Okay, so we got some people down. Has anybody ever bought anything on eBay? Last exercise. Okay, so we got a lot of people in here. Everybody knows eBay. Everybody knows eBay can be a channel. And who all has tried to list cars on eBay in the past years? Great, okay. And I think sometimes we found that it's a lot of work, or we didn't know exactly what we were doing, or we weren't able to get the best listing up that we thought that we could. And as that turns out, it makes it difficult. And in the car business, what I always see when things get difficult, we kind of have a tendency to run the other way and do something else. Very briefly, just as a couple people are coming in, I joined the car business in 1981 in Washington, D.C. To show my age, and I've been in the car business for 25 years up there before joining eBay 5 years ago. I've been a general manager and general sales manager for 15 years, and mainly was with Honda, Toyota, and also with Buick GMC. My last job before joining eBay was I was overseeing 17 used car operations with the Fitzgerald Auto Mall. I understand. I know that Fitzgerald actually has a store down here as well. So I love the car business. I used to be 6'5", and now I'm about 5'6". So I've been around the business for a long time. I love the car business, and I love the fact that I get the opportunity to come here and really show you how you can move the needle using eBay. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started, but I wanted to just throw out real quick, eBay is the #1 automotive site in the world. And if you think about that and how you can utilize that, I think this is going to really play into what we can do for you today. But if we go on eBay and look for a Cadillac Escalade today, there's 260 Cadillac Escalades on eBay. Now, if we go on eBay and we put in a Cadillac Escalade with navigation, and then send an SEO meeting, I promise, there's 48 by just adding the word navigation. If we go on eBay today, there we go, and we put in navigation and leather, there's 6. Now, say, hey Roy, I thought you were a car guy. Every Escalade has leather. We all know that. But you know the guy that bought a Nissan Frontier 6 years ago and paid $2,700 for the leather package, or $1,200 for the leather package, is now going to get an Escalade because the guy down the street got an Escalade? He's going to put in navigation, leather, 24-inch wheels, what he wants to put on his search. Is everybody with me on that? So not only are you always a part of the 260 with eBay, but just by adding navigation, you're now a part of 49. But by adding navigation and leather, you're part of 6 on the #1 automotive site in the world. So these 80 keywords that we have for you to use is going to be a huge, huge plus. We're going to go into it briefly, but I'm not going to bore you with a lot of details on it. You can go back and really expand that on your own. But you have 80 characters in your subtitle to use to help you with search. Now, to just give you the last testament of, I know a lot of dealers in the room are using AutoTrader. That's great. I will never say anything bad about AutoTrader, cars. Anybody that can help us sell a car, I'm a sales guy. So anything that can help us sell a car is a good thing. But they got 4,000 Cadillac Escalades on today. And that's just the Escalade. That's not the ESV or the extended one or anything like that. So as you can see, we have 260. And we have a large audience coming to the table every day on eBay. We need your cars. We need the sharp dealers. We need the people that took the time to come and spend some time with us today and see what's going on with the internet and how we're moving forward with technology today to really get this thing going. So that's really what we're going to go into. And that is my last sit. I'm out of your way. Thank you. So we're going to roll into Welcome to eBay Motors eDealer Trading. We're glad you're here. We're going to get going, and what we're going to talk about today is selling cars on eBay Motors. We're going to talk about merchandising, developing a pricing strategy, managing your active listings, and maximizing your presence. Our book that we have for you to go along with, you can follow along with us. We don't have every page in our deck in the book. That would kind of probably bring you down a little bit. So what we've done is we've put the best of the best in the book. And the ones that I'll just be talking about won't have a number as you see up top. So I'll give you an opportunity to follow along with us. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask at any time. We're gonna move through this. So anytime you have anything that you'd like to bring up or want to question something, please feel free to. eBay. We're a large company. We got a lot of activity around the world. We are really a leader in trying to be an online marketplace around the world. These are the companies that we're a part of or that eBay owns, and just goes you the strength and the power of eBay. eBay is also the largest retail site in the world with 100 million active users globally. 100 million people have used eBay, their eBay user ID, in the last 6 months or 90 days. 100 million people. That's a lot of peeps. We got a lot of people out there. That's not even counting the people that just go on to eBay and look at cars. You don't need a user ID to do that, as we all know, just like you would cars, Trader, Auto by Tel, your own website, any other third-party provider that you may be looking at these cars. So as you go down, we all know who all these people are. Well, we're the first person to sell an item. And here we are. So we got a lot of power for you. We got a lot of horsepower for you. Excuse me. One of the most interesting stats I think that we have on here as we get started, 30% of all online automotive minutes are spent on eBay Motors. 30% of all online automotive minutes are spent on eBay Motors. 44 minutes is the average time spent on eBay. Why? Anybody know why? Because of the content. Because of the amount of pictures, because of the ability to the information that's there from eBay, the safety records, everything that you ever want to know, you can click on eBay, and we've done the research for you. And then you got to add your piece and your sizzle, and the next thing you know, you have an opportunity in front of you with a customer that has spent some good time looking at your car on eBay. The next closest is 19 minutes and 16 on down. So we know that we capture the customer for a while. Now, when we capture this customer, what are we going to do? How are we going to make sure that they're coming to our house? That's the key today. Because us bringing 100 million people doesn't make any difference if they're not coming to my house. You know, it's almost like a Super Bowl party. Everybody on the block's having a Super Bowl party, but there's this one house in the middle of the block, and you can see the smoke and the barbecue going, and they got a band out back, and you can see that that's a place that's really happening. When you get to the block party, where are you going? You're going to that house where all the good food's going, right? It's the same thing here. We got to put our best foot forward and play our best game when we put a car out on eBay. And we're going to talk about how important that is. Demand outweighs supply by far. We need you. We need your cars. We need to work together. We need to build a foundation where it's kind of a crawl, walk, run program. I have had dealers in the past after the seminar, an owner came up and said, I want to get all my cars on eBay tomorrow. I got 240 used cars. I said, if you did that in 7 days, you'd never do eBay again, because you'd have too much confusion. There'd be too many leads. What we want to do is we want to get you to crawl and then walk and then run. We want to build a long-term relationship. So by putting on a couple cars properly, we're going to generate good leads, good activity, and bring people to your showroom. One testimonial that we put in the deck, and we have many of these, but I thought this one was really pretty cool, was I want to let you know we're having great success with the national listings. Since the training we attended October 24th, we're using the best practices you talked about. And I've already sold 13 cars in less than 3 weeks. We look forward to working with you in the future to grow our eBay business. As of right now, eBay listings are my #1 source for used car leads by far. Thanks for your help and support. Let me know of any suggestions or ideas you have to further our success. They've been on with us for quite a while now, really having success with getting up to 15, 20, 25 cars a month. But you know, we started out 5, 10, it's just kind of a growth pattern. So, why to buy or shop online? Convenience, selection, pricing, eBay member. Would everybody in the room agree that 85% of your customers have had an internet experience before they buy a car? Would that be fair? I'm going to use that number. 85% or 85 out of 100 of your customers have been on the internet or had some type of internet experience before they buy a car. I think that's a fair number. I appreciate that. So what we're going to talk about now is mobile, as we get into taking a look at what mobile can do for you and what all is going on. 80 million is the number of times eBay's app have been downloaded across the globe. Now, the next two stats I'm going to show you are, these are real stats. I didn't make them up, I promise. And they really are stats that say, you got to be kidding me. The first one is this one right here, which is, really, you got to be kidding me. 6,098 cars are sold every week on eBay's core iPhone app. 6,000 cars are being sold every week on eBay's iPhone app. I was in, I think I was even telling one of you all when I visited with Darren last week, we had a dealer that said, I was in Philly doing a show, and he says, hey Roy, guess what, man, I sell cars on the phone every day, that's how I make a living. I said, no, these are customers that did everything on the phone. Everything. They looked at the car, they've been on the car, they did a buy it now, they did everything except for maybe one call to the dealership to finalize the money and finalize that they were coming in to pick it up. I mean, that's really, if you think about it, who could have ever seen this 15 years ago or 10 years ago? And where are we going? Well, we're right at the heart of it. We're right in the middle. Our app is fantastic. All the things that we're doing to create and generate business with the iPhone, as well as the eBay apps, we're right there for you. Next interesting thing, 269,498 parts and accessories are sold each week on eBay's core iPhone app. And you say, the numbers are like, is this really real? That's what grabs me. It is. These are real numbers, and this is what's happening across the globe. This is what's happening across the country. When do people shop for cars online today? Anytime they want, right? 24/7. They can shop at work, they can shop at home, they can shop at the airport, they can shop at the grocery store. They can do whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want, at their convenience today. So, eBay. What sells on eBay? Every car is an eBay car. And that's what we're here to talk about, because I know that the majority of y'all in the room have said, you know what? I have sold a car. I sold that Mustang that I traded. I sold that dually, that Ford dually that I knew I wasn't going to sell at the Kia store. I sold that on eBay. Those are the cars I sold, on eBay. I sold a Viper on eBay. Well, what you're going to really find is that you're right. Those do sell well. But the other thing is that we have 100 million people. A lot of those people are looking for specialty cars, and a lot of those people are sellers on eBay, and a lot of those people, buy golf clubs and whatever the case is. But what we're really talking about is the fact that we got everyday customers. We got your average everyday customer. Now, I won't tell you that every one of them has a 750 to 800 beacon. I'm sorry. but with 100 million strong, you can bet that there's a few in there that don't. But we got good customers. eBay shoppers are real buyers. What we're going to show you today on how you do this and how you set this up is that this eBay customer is further down the funnel. They've really done a lot of their homework already. They're not calling as another third-party lead to find out if the car's still there or find out if that's the right mileage or see if they can get a Carfax. They've already done all that. They've already been through all that. They're really further down the pipeline, and you can sell vehicles on eBay for a profit. The dealers that I have the opportunity to work with hand in hand tell me that their grosses run hand in hand with what they do at the dealership. Certainly not going to sit here and tell you they're $2 grand more per car, but they're not $2 grand less per car. They're going to run what they do at your dealership. Why? Because we're dealing with leads. And then it's all a matter of what the talent that we bring to the table as salespeople and as managers to teach our people how to sell cars. And that's what's really all about. So, we're going to talk about auction with buy now, reserve, bidders, closing on eBay, feedback. We're going to go through all those things as we go through our seminar this morning. These three things are on page 5, and you may want to make a couple notes here, because this is one of the most important things that I have seen as I have traveled the country and had the privilege to do this show, over 150 times over the last 3 years, that we struggle with. This is the one thing that we struggle with, and what we really want to really press to you is we want you to be on eBay all the time. We don't know what new flock is coming in every week. But we want you to have, whether it be 2 cars a week or 5 cars a week or 10 cars a week, however you want to grow that business, we want you to be consistent because we want to give you a funnel of leads. And if you're going to put 5 cars on, we're going to maybe do 3 of your brand, and then we're going to do 2 off-brand. We're going to do a truck, we're going to do a van, and we're going to do a car. We don't want to do 3 of the same car because we want to use that as a lead generator for other cars on our lot. So we're going to talk about what the best way to do that. We got to know where the phone's going to ring. We got to have trained salespeople. We got to make sure that somebody's going to handle eBay. eBay is a little different. That eBay customer wants to have attention. They do not want the phone to ring to the operator and then get sent to parts. They want to talk to somebody about that car. So that phone's got to ring on somebody's hip. That phone's got to go to a round robin in an internet department. That phone's got to be answered quickly and as smoothly as possible so we can connect with this eBay customer and show them the love and give them some great reasons why they picked a good car and they should do business with us. And then we got to have a plan and a process. The more plans and processes you have, I know that vendors, manufacturers are really pushing us for processes today. The more processes you have, the more success you're going to have. And I'm going to go through a couple processes, and we're going to lay out a couple. Maybe it'd be the picture taking process, maybe it'd be the listing process that we can actually put into play once you leave here and once we start following up with you. So, weekly selection, trained salespeople, plan and process put in play. 75% of the vehicles sold on eBay Motors are interstate transactions, where the cars are sold outside, the vehicles are delivered to buyers outside the state of the seller. We're selling about 1,500 to 2,000 cars a day probably on and off eBay. If you think about the fact that 75% of those cars are interstate transactions, I mean, that really puts you all in a great place because it's a beautiful, beautiful place to come down here to the Tampa area to pick up a car. I can't wait to come down when it's not raining. But it's easy. Getting a Southwest flight down here from the East Coast is just no big deal. Getting into here is very easy. So your presence here, you're going to have a lot of travelers. You're going to have people from Mississippi. You're going to have people from Montana looking at your cars. They're looking at your cars all over. It's hot, it's cold, it's this, it's that. Every season brings its own things around the world. Much people in January aren't walking the lots in Boston in a snowstorm. They're on the internet. So again, we're bringing you buyers from out of town. We're going to have some buyers right here in your neck of the woods as well, but the majority of your customers on eBay on your national listings are going to come from out of town. So, 2004 Ford Taurus. I bet you can tell that this is a Florida car. Car sold for $7,500. We've had this up here for a couple years now, so I know now that probably looks like, you kidding me, $7,500. But, you know, probably they had 4 or 5 grand in the car. They made money on the car when they sold it. But what I want you to recognize is the feedback. Got in and drove 1,500 miles. Now, I got to tell you, I've been a used car guy a long time. Made a ton of money on used Tauruses. But I think that it's pretty strong to say for somebody to travel 1,500 miles to buy a 2004 Ford Taurus is pretty strong. If you think about it. Great car, good price, perfect inside out, thanks, A+. That was the feedback. Now, if you think about 1,500 miles, I mean, that'll get you all the way up the East Coast. So these customers have no problem traveling. How does this happen? Well, maybe the Ford Taurus wagon was a rare wagon when they were looking for a wagon. Whatever the case is, they found it, they connected with the Florida Cars One down here in Fort Lauderdale, and they bought the car. And, you know, flew down or drove down and traded their car, or flew down and drove home. But got in and drove 1,500 miles is a long way to roll. So you got a 2004 Ford Taurus, you got a 2008 BMW. Jason picked me up at the airport in my new BMW and made this a wonderful experience. You got both ends of the street. You know, whether it's going to be a 2013 BMW or a 2013 Kia or a 2008 Chevy Impala, we got the customers for you. We got customers that will come from everywhere and they're looking for everything to buy the right car. Florida Cars One, right down the road from you, here's their map of their customers. And they're down here. As you can see, they got a huge, huge sales opportunity right here in the East, but all over the country they sell cars. But what I want you to recognize is I think everybody would agree. We can go to their site today and they have used cars just like your used cars. You know, they're good used cars. But to come from here to buy a used car, that's a long way to roll. And I think everybody in the room would agree it's got to cost at least $1,000 to do that. Would that be fair? Whether you fly down, play golf, go to the beach, do whatever you want to do, and then drive back across country, or whether you have the car shipped to you, it's got to be $1,000. The reason that I want to bring that up is because I know how price sensitive everybody is. Everybody feels is that price. And it's true, everybody's shopping price. But these eBay customers, if they connect, they find what they want, they will work with you. And this customer knows that that car's got to come somehow. And they have no problem traveling to get it or figuring that this is what they want. But if you really take a look, this is a long way to roll to pick up a used car. So these customers have no problem with traveling. Feedback, third time repeat buyer. You're going to find multiple buyers as you really roll into this thing because they had a great experience. Bought my child's car here, everything was excellent. Second purchase, great deal. We love our BMW. Fifth purchase, car arrived before promise, great service, great car. My second car from them, if Nixon worked there, I'd buy a used car from them. So, some things that we want to take a look at and some feedback that we want to build on. These are the things that you want to do to really create a great interest for your store. And if you don't have feedback, we're going to also go through how we're going to develop that for you if you don't have feedback. How many people in the room have a feedback score with eBay now? Okay, couple, several, okay. So, here we go. We're going to get started. Traditional retail. Does anybody recognize this? Is there anybody that doesn't recognize this? Because I think there's a Pizza Hut meeting next door. We know this like the back of our hand. Meet and greet, lot walk. Welcome to the dealership. My name is Roy Daves, and you are. Are you here to see anybody in particular? What good things are happening to you today? However we've trained our salespeople to greet our customers, we've owned this for years. This is ours. Nobody can take this away from us. We teach it just like we do every day on the lot. But there's a new sheriff in town. And the new sheriff is right here. I think everybody in the room would agree they don't come to the front door like they used to. They come through the internet. We also agreed earlier that 85% of your customers have an internet experience before they actually probably buy a car and transact. eBay is the #1 automotive site in the world, and we have 100 million active users. So we know we're good. We know we have a portion of that action for you. So if you really look at these things, they all go just like our sales process. Your meet and greet is your online first impression. Your lot walk is your virtual showroom. Your 6 is your walk around. Your test drive is your virtual test drive. Resale, follow up, and trial close, and closing the deal. I've been in the business for a long time, and I try to learn something every day from the car business, and I love the car business. But I got to tell you, I truly believe that the number one thing in your dealership today, one of the most important things is right here. Your online first impression. What are you doing to grab that customer? We put balloons up. We put monkeys on the roof. We serve hot dogs with clowns on the holidays. We do all these things to do what? To generate drive-by traffic to come into our dealership, and also for the people that are coming there to get them enthusiastic about the opportunity to buy a car from us, right? That's why we do it. That's why we have the balloons up. That's why we have everything. Now they're here. What are we doing here to make this the most important thing that they see? We know what we've done at the dealership, and we're going to continue to do that. That's what we've been born to do. But what are we going to do with our online first impression? And that's what we're going to really talk about right now. You want to set your car up the same way every time. Every one of your pictures should be at the same place, the same way, there shouldn't be any cars behind it. I had one dealer who they take 12 pictures of the car, they back them up. Guy's got a pocket full of keys, takes the pictures, does the next car, takes pictures by the third car. He is soaking wet. And those pictures are going, they're not probably the best pictures. And I asked him, I said, well, why don't you take them one by one? He says, well, maybe somebody's going to see another car that they like in the pictures. I said, I like that. That's a great answer. But in today's time, people are zeroing in on what they want to look for. Would everybody agree with that? People know what they want, or have a range of what they want, and they're going to go searching for that car. They don't want to see a car and then take a look around through the pictures on the back of your lot and see if they see something they like. Some pointers. We got to have a nice 3/4 angle gallery. We got to talk about that. We got to set that process up. And the majority of you all probably already do, if all of you don't. But is it the best spot? Can we get some visibility with the sign, with the palm tree, with something that's going to bring joy and light to everybody's heart around the world that's looking at my car? At least 40 photos. We need at least 40 photos on your eBay cars because your competition is doing that. So they got to do a walk around. If I'm in Boston and I love your car and I actually would love to come down to Tampa and play golf for a couple days, I need to see a good walk around on that car, because if not, I'm going to look at the one over in Phoenix, because they got some nice courses over in Phoenix too, but it's way too hot over there. But people think like that. People think about where they want to do or how they want to do, and these things come into play when they're looking. So put your best foot forward. At least 40 photos, a virtual walk around, good lighting, professional background, money shots, options, odometer, VIN, owner's manual, keys. You got to show it all today. You have the opportunity to do that in your pictures. Whether you put on 5 pictures on eBay or 100 pictures, I just want to make sure that everybody knows there's no difference in the cost to us. There's difference in your time. There's difference in you all getting that job done. I totally understand that, and I totally get that. But the more pictures that you take, the more success that you're going to have. Is there anybody that's using eBay that takes 40 or more pictures in the room? Great. Do you find that to be the best way for success? I think it speaks for itself when you really take a look at this. Let's for a second put 2 white Chevy Malibus together. They're on Auto Trader, Craigslist, eBay, Cars.com, every lead provider that's out there, this car is being marketed on. And in the trunk, it's vacuumed out, it looks really nice. And in the other trunk, it's vacuumed out, it looks really nice. But in the other trunk, all the books are there. You know how we can lay out about 6 books now. We got a tire book, we got a warranty book, we got a this book, we got a that book. And all the books are laid out, and then all the keys are there. Both master keys are there, the valet key's there, even the valet key still has a used car tag on it. And they're all laid out there. Which car does the customer think is a nicer car? You really got to think about that for a second. They think that this is a nicer car. These people over here, they changed their oil more than this customer did. Is that true? We don't know that. Nobody knows that. But in their minds, with having all that information, and they still have their books, and they still have all their keys, and they're good, responsible people, they've probably taken better care of this car than the other car. So if people feel that way, give them everything you can. Now, I'm not saying go get owner's manuals for every used car that you got on your lot, but whenever you have this information available to show the customer, lay it out in the trunk, lay it out on the seat. And I'm going to show you some examples of that and how that looks to the customer around the country. So again, all these things go into putting out a good picture. And the other thing that's difficult is, but factual, is this. Listings with 40 or more pictures give you a 75% higher chance of success than listings with less than 40 pictures. So the more pictures you got, the more opportunities you're going to have. And I was in Dallas, Texas, and I had an owner at the break say, Roy, he said, I'm not going to take 40 pictures, I'm going to take 6. And he said, the 7th picture is going to be a picture of me. He said, I'm going to put my cell phone number there, and I got my cowboy hat on, and I'm going to tell him, if you want more pictures, you just give me a call. I said, sir, with due respect, I certainly appreciate that, but if you're going to put that there and you got 6 pictures of your car, and the Cadillac Escalade below yours has 60 pictures of the car, they're probably going to go to that 60 pictures before they give you a call and hunt you down and try to get you to send them some more pictures. So you've got to understand, it's what's in front of the customer. Speed is everything. We know that. We don't want to wait for anything anymore today. So when we will go to look for something, we want to see it all there. So we really want to help you. We got a great plan for you to help do this, and we'll go over that with you as well. Setting up, where are you going to do this? How's your photo booth look? If you don't have a photo booth, if you do it outside, do we do it at the same spot? Do we have a canopy around it? You know, I've even told some dealers, you know, I coached baseball up for my son in Washington, D.C., and my wife bought this nice thing at Home Depot or Sports Authority, but we pop that thing up, and everybody can, about 10 or 12 people can fit underneath it. Put that up with a couple curtains around it and spend $70 and have a photo booth to get started. I've also had the privilege of seeing a $70,000 photo booth in Atlanta, where the car moves, the car's going around, the pictures are being taken. You know what? It was pretty cool, but it's not what it's all about. What it's all about is being focused on really having a process to take good pictures. And if you're focused on taking good pictures, you don't need a $50,000 photo booth. You just need a commitment to take good pictures and have a good place to take them and be consistent. And that's the real key to everything, is being consistent. So we found some winners out there. We actually had one down here where we had the guy with the hat on backwards, and he had a cigarette in his mouth. So we actually took that one out there because it just didn't even look right. But you know, the first thing that every customer thought when they saw it was, it's a smoker's car. You know, customers build these perceptions very quickly. So we want to make sure that you know, these are some of your competition. This is not a lot of your competition, but there's a few out there. I know these weren't taken down in Florida. But again, as you can see, you know, shadows, settings, all these things make a huge difference. And we also found, these are the no-nos obviously, we found our Hall of Fame car. This one was on all the different websites, third-party providers. So we looked and we wanted to take a look inside, and this was the inside. So you got a disgruntled employee, a process that's not being followed, or somebody that just really doesn't care. But this was out there. You know, I know that nobody in the room would have a picture of their car like this out there, but this is what's going on if we're not watching our processes. Back to reality. This is what we want to do. This is the way we want to look. You know, one little curtain on a in a shop. You know, be it the showroom, be it wherever you can do this that can be most effective for your dealership. Be it right outside the front door. Be it by your state flag, or by a picture of your dealership, or a poster of your dealership, or I love palm trees. I mean, I think that the palm trees really tell a great story for you all here in Florida. Or a mural back by the end of the showroom by the Christmas tree. You know, whatever you choose to do, however you want to do that. But the real key is the staging, setting it up and being consistent with where all your pictures are going to be. Take a look here. Which one would you call on? I mean, this thing's jumping at you. I mean, it is just jumping right out at you. This thing's saying, hey, look at me. And you don't even have, it doesn't matter that it's certified. It's a nice extra treat. Please don't get me wrong. But if your car isn't certified, that doesn't mean that your picture can't be like this. You take a look here, dark, you know, just somebody's not following a process, or somebody doesn't have a process in play to not take their pictures like this. This may be a great car that can really sell, but you can't see it. And if you can't see it, customers are going to move on to the next car. And that's what we really want to make sure that we focus on, is getting you presented like this. Not only on eBay, but on your own website and on your cars that are at your dealership. Page 8. Pictures. Digital business card. We want you to have 10 times in your pictures, we want you to have your name, email, and phone number. And we're going to help you set that up. We're going to get you 400 page views, and we're going to go through that a little later as we're rolling through here. But if we get you 400 page views on your car, and your name, phone number, and email address is in there 10 times, how many times is your name, email, and phone number being looked at? 4,000 times on your car. That's going to generate activity. And I don't want to get really stretched out with the numbers, because all of a sudden numbers become hard to believe. But I'm going to show you how we're going to help do that and how we're going to help create that. So your name, email, phone number should be in each listing at least 10 times, and we're going to show you what that looks like. Here's your 40 picture layout inside the book, so that if you want to go back to the dealership, and let's say take 2 cars, take 40 pictures. Whoever's taking your pictures, say, you know what, I want to take 2 cars, and I want you to take the pictures just like this. Follow this format. 1, 2, 3, 4, down to 40. Get it on your website. Get the management team together and take a look. Is this where we want to go? Is this what we want to strive for? Is this who we want to be? And how do we go about putting our process in play so that this can be our dealership every day? And I strongly suggest that. The internet's not going away, we all know it. And as time goes on, the more identified, the more consistent, and the more professional your pictures look, the more activity you're going to create for your dealership. So you can print these off if you want. I'll be glad to email it to you if you like. Whatever you need, dealership name, picture taker, flip it off, pictures are taken, checked off, goes to the person that's ready to build a story about the car to get ready to list online. VIN decoders have pertinent information, but VIN decoders don't sell cars. Quality descriptions sell cars. The only thing that I want to say about this is that it's on every car, right? You all have it. Everybody populates it. Chrome populates it, whatever you're going to do. But if we really take a look at this today, it's totally meaningless. Clock, door ajar warning, rear platform, oil pressure gauge. Now, I am excited about knowing that my car has an oil pressure gauge. Running boards, rear view mirror. What would I do without that? These are all things that we take, these are all just standard features. This needs to be at the bottom of your real estate on your listing. Be it on eBay, be it on your own website, be it wherever. I would strongly suggest that you have this at the bottom, because people have already done this. If they want a 2004 Buick LeSabre, they've probably already printed out the window sticker using Google. They've probably gone to the manufacturer. They know all this information. They've done their homework when they're getting to you. So having this up in your prime real estate is really not the best thing to do. And again, that's just only a suggestion. Maybe you like having this up there wherever you like it, but if you can put it down at the bottom, that's the best way to do it. What you want to have up top is this. This is where you want to go, and this is where a little bit of work has to come into play, but this is going to be what's going to really benefit you. And that is the make, model, trim, exterior color, interior color, leather or fabric, cloth. What 3 options this car has that might interest a buyer, who this vehicle, why this is the best vehicle for you, who this vehicle would appeal to, who you think it would appeal to and why, an interesting story about it, what you especially like about it. This is really where the heart of this selling comes into play. And this is how we want to do it right here. And we have this in your book. You all have the newest books out, by the way, so congratulations, Tampa. But we've had a lot of people that really wanted to stop and write all this out. And so this is now in your book for you, so we can kind of roll through it. But you want to have 5 paragraphs. Everybody be with me for a second here. When they're reading this, where are they? They could be anywhere in the world, right? But where are they on eBay or on your car? They're looking at your car. when they read this, they're inside your house. We wish that we could be there selling now, right? That's what we do best, is sell. We wish we could be there, but we can't. So now's the time where we got to put a little sizzle in this. Now's the time where we got to spark some interest. Now's the time where we got to make this a little exciting for them to want to capture and come call us or come to us to buy a car. So first I want to verify. It's a Toyota Sienna with only 35,000 miles. The vehicle is black with gray leather. The interior is near perfect. All the options, heated seats, power seats, navigation, rear DVD, sunroof. It's beautiful. This vehicle has a clean Carfax and is a one-owner vehicle, plus tells the remainder of the factory warranty. There is no excuses. Why would you ever think about letting this van pass you by? I've set the reserve thousands below NADA and Kelly Blue Book to give you the best deal out there. If you need some help with some easy financing, let me know. Excuse me. If you want to know the reserve, call me. If you want to do a buy now, call me. My name is, my cell number is, my email address is, here's all my information, and then boom. I promise you'll enjoy the experience. We'll be glad to pick you up at the Tampa Bay Airport, or we'll be glad to pick you up at St. Pete Airport. If you want to take a train in, take a bus in, we'll be glad to pick you up at the bus stop. However you want to get here, we're ready for you. 5 things. What is it? Verification. Get me excited about it. Sell it to me. Let me know you'll work with me. Make it easy for me to contact you. And then excite me that you're a good place to do business with. Make sense? 5 paragraphs, how you do it. This is the way that you want to write your descriptions that we have found to have the most success in the dealers that are being the most successful. But again, you know, just starting out, this is what you want to try to do. This is what you want to try to develop. And this will really, really reap benefits for you, because what's going to happen is the phone's going to ring. They're going to know you're easy to work with them, and you've gotten excited about the car. You've gotten them excited about the vehicle. And that's what it's really all about. We found this one out there to have some fun with. We're a few minutes away from me giving you all a chance to get up and check your phones and stuff. But here's, this was the 2005 Nissan Ninja Hauler. Okay, let me start off by saying this exterior is only available for the purchase of manliest of men or women. My friend, if it was possible for a vehicle to sprout chest hair in a 5 o'clock shadow, this Nissan would look like Tom Selleck. It's just that manly. This car was engineered by third-degree ninja super warriors, the highest mountains in Japan, to serve the needs of man and cheats death on a daily basis. They didn't even consider Nancy Boy means like navigation systems. Real men don't get lost. Heated leather seats. Real men don't like anything warm in their bottom. And OnStar, real men don't even know what the heck OnStar is. I also just put in a new windshield to replace the one that got shot out by the man. My price on this bad boy is an incredible $12,900, but I entertain reasonable offers, and by reasonable I mean don't walk up and tell me you'll give me $5,000 for it. That's liable to earn you a Bernie's Roundhouse spritzer kick with a followed up 3-finger die jab. To sweeten the deal a little, I'm throwing in this pair of MC Hammer pants. These rippling quads, they can't fit into regular pants. Yeah, you heard me, free MC Hammer pants, rock on. Now, this is, you know, we put this one in here for humor, but we found this one out there, and this guy does a great job. But, you know, who finds this car? You know, you look at the tires, you look at the grass, you look at the background, you know, skateboarder, snowboarder, you know, you're a true outdoors person. They find that car, and they hook up with that guy, and, you know, they probably go out partying with him and buy the car. You know, who knows? If the wheels were all blacked up, and the balloons were off the top, and the starburst was in the window, and this was sitting out in your lot, this storyline certainly wouldn't work. But it just gives you a little bit of an idea of creativity and how you want to really think about doing things. But right here is really where you want to be. This is where you really want to focus on, these 5 paragraphs. And even if you make it shorter, these are the things that you want to put out there. Tell me I'm looking at the right car, get me excited, tell me who you are, let me know you'll work with me, and tell me you have a nice place for me to do business with down where you live. I'm going to service the car right by my house. That's what people want to do. But there's not a lot of loyalty when you look at how many cars you're doing out of state right now. You're probably doing quite a few out of state right now. So customers want to buy what they want to get, and they want to try to do the best they can on that car. So again, great ideas, great thing to build on. We're going to help you do that with your eBay listings as well as your other cars if you choose to go there. The next thing I want to share with you is keywords. And this really is one of the things that you got to take advantage of for search. Keys to a strong title. Do's. Use all 80 characters. You have 80 characters. This is page 12. Key search words. List major options. And again, the don'ts. Don't do any of this stuff. Don't do the looks and the wows and all the things. If there's some used car guys that have been around for a long time, we used to do our three-line handwritten ads for the newspaper. We'd do all this stuff to try to bring action to our listing. They won't get there. They don't see it. It's tossed out. The only thing that you can use is commas. So what you want to do is just like this right here. You want to put as many keywords in there as you can. 07, all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, 4x4, nav, rear DVD, TV, quad, buckets, cooled seats. They even probably got some room to put a couple more things. Why they put an 07 here? Because they already got 2007 up here. Now I'm showing you one of the best of the best. We can go to our top sellers today and we're going to find that they duplicate this down here. Not everybody does this well. The better that you do this, the more leads and more cars you're going to sell using eBay and using the internet. And let me give you a perfect example. We had 260 Cadillac Escalades. We added the word navigation, there was 49. We added the word navigation leather, there was 6. That's a perfect example of getting these customers to your cars on eBay. And also, it's also going to complement everything else that you're doing on the internet. So again, strong titles right here. This is what you don't want to do, and that is really nothing. Take advantage of the opportunity to use these key search words and key titles. Any questions about that? You have 80 opportunities to use the words. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you real quick to a little thing that's kind of fun, and you'll see what I mean here. It's called, where is it here? Oh. I had to pull it up. Okay. We're just going to go back here. But it's called GoogleFight.com. Let me go up here real quick. I'm going to do it real quick for you guys. I think you'll enjoy this. Just take a second. Now, do you use Nav or do you use Navi more? Which do you think customers look at? Which one do you think would win in a battle of results?
Navi.
Navi? So you go to GoogleFight.com, you can put the words in there, and in that something you got 24 million results for Navi and 24,300,000 for Nav. And that's results on, and again, this is not gospel, but it's a great tool to take a look at. But one of the things that's really cool is the difference in what'd I do?
wrong.
Try to put I in it. This is going to really be very surprising to you. That navigation is 226 million results versus Nav and Navi. So what that goes to tell you is that the customers put in navigation when they're looking for searches. Now again, this is not gospel, but you know, we wouldn't write LTHR anymore for leather. We know we got to write out leather. The customers aren't going to put in LTHR for leather, but you can use this and go 4x4, cooled seats, heated seats. What's going to fare best for you? And it's called GoogleFight.com. You can also go to Google Trends. If you go to Google Trends, one of the things that you will always do is put in Chevy. If you have any in your subtitle, you should always have the word Chevy. Because if you really think about it, we've grown up with that vocabulary. Chevy Impala, Chevrolet Impala doesn't even sound right to us. Chevy truck, Chevrolet truck. So people write in Chevy in their search terms, which is going to help you get more leads and help you generate more activity. Because if they put in Chevy, it's going to send them to you more often than any others. So it's called Google Fight. It helps you with your keywords. I know you don't have time to do all this stuff, but I think that you'll find that this can be a big help. Okay, so next here, titles and keywords provides additional information about your vehicle, piques the interest of potential buyers, providing them with more descriptive information on the vehicles, and makes your listing stand out in search and listings. And that's the real key of what we're trying to do. Today, I know that Dealer Track and eCarList is here today, and I'm going to have him stand a second. We have 5 preferred solution providers that we recommend. Auction 123, Auto Revo, Dealer Track and eCarList, eBiz Autos, and Liquid Motors. We're going to go and get, you can also get more information on that. We're going to take a break for a few minutes in just a second, but if the guys from eCarList would mind standing up, and y'all want to introduce yourselves real quick. I know we have Wes.
Jay Lynch, first time you know me.
Oh, great.
Keith Platt.
Keith Blatt, and if you all have any questions or if you all want to know any more information, they would love to help you. But they're one of our solution providers that we really believe in, and they are certified. So whatever they can do to answer questions for you about getting your third-party leads and doing things that's going to help generate business. What can they do to help you using advantage of using a listing tool? Your data feeds, your customized profile, inventory management, listing creation, leads management, and pricing tools. What I hope we've gotten started with is we got a lot of activity. If we do things right, we can bring buckets of customers to the dealership. What we're going to get into in the second half is what are we going to do with the customers and how we follow them up and how do we turn them into car sales and what are we going to do to help build that business. So if y'all want to take a 5 or 10 minute break, the bathrooms are right down the hall here, and we can freshen up the coffee and check your phones right out the front door if you want. I think it stopped raining, and we'll jump right into the second half.
What?
I have some eBay best practices as well as a 65 picture layout, so if y'all would like those, just drop off your business card with your email to me, and I'll be glad to send them out to you if you'd like. What's that? Oh, you create them. Yeah. Things that you create, bucket seats, jewel seats, 4 speed, right, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.